we're taking good shots. I mean, for the most part, like I think we're taking good shots. Generate off the offense. I mean, I don't know how many wide open threes I had. So I think we're taking good shots. It's just sometimes they don't go in, but I think that we just can't like just focus all our thing on like, oh, we got to make shots. Like, because again, like we're the type of team that we are. We can still find ways to win, and I think that's what we got to do. We got to scrap. We got to play hard, 50-50 ball. We got to get them. We got to be the hardest playing team when those shots are not going in, and then once they start going in, it'll be a difference.
You guys were
historically, you guys have always been a pretty good road team. Can you put your finger on why the home record and the road record have been so drastically different?
It's basketball, man. Like I don't think we care. Like I think we want to win regardless of where we are. Like that's just, I mean, it just happens. I think for me, like I mean, the years before where we were good on the road and then we didn't play well at home, it's not like we were like, oh man, like we want to win at home too. You know what I mean? So I think that it's just playing. Those games happen, and you go on the road and you find teams that come in and they play harder than you, and sometimes they win. And I don't think it's a matter of like home or away. Like it's just a matter of us playing better. Like we got to play better no matter where we at. I don't care where we play. Like we just got to get better.
So much focus on the shooting. What does it sit in your mind on the defense?
No, we just gotta continue to play hard. I thought the first quarter like we played decent defense last game. We just gotta take it quarter by quarter, try to play hard, and little mistakes kind of like take those away. Because right now every mistake that we make, it feels like we it kind of costs us. So we just got to try to minimize them and just just continue to be positive and play and I do believe that it's going to turn around.
Fred said that maybe sometimes you guys are relying on the schemes a bit too much and not just going one-on-one with your assignment and defending man up. Is there a bit too much gambling or pressure going on? Or?
I mean, hey man, that's not my job. Like I'm here to play basketball no matter what the conditions are, and I think that we've been good doing those things. So I think that for me, that's not really my focus. Like I'm focused on like just going out there, man, and no matter what we on, like do it hard and try to stop. I do think that again, like it starts with one-on-one. Like I do think that. So we got to get better across the board.
You guys were at this point last year, a game under 500, late in December. Does this feel similar or different from something you guys have done before?
I mean, it's not. Yeah, I mean, again, it's not something that we want to go through. Like, it's not like we go in there thinking like, oh man, we're gonna be under 500 from December, and then we're gonna, So it just happens, and when it does happen, I think you can kind of like, for everyone to just continue to stay positive, knowing that like there's a way out of it, right? Like, and we can't hit the panic button, and I know that a lot of people do hit that panic button real quick. So as long as we in here in the facility are not doing that, and we're looking at each other, and we helping each other. There's no finger pointing. We all in this together, and no matter what's happening, like those guys, like I love them, and I want everyone to succeed. I want us to succeed as a team, and I think we all gotta do it together. Like there's no like everyone in this together, and we gotta like get out of it together.
Does that give you?
How much is OG's presence missed defensively? I know obviously you guys still had a pretty good defensive game, but
yeah, I mean, again, obviously he's one of the best defenders. So I think not having OG there, obviously, but again, like we can't hang our heads on that. Like we gotta play. I think we have enough guys that can play defense, and we want him back as soon as possible. But at the same time, we want to be out there. We gotta play. Like and we know that everyone is capable of playing defense.
There was a point last year where you guys were considered one of the real surprises of the league. You were playing a little bit differently than most teams play. All those big guys crashing the glass and doing what you do. Do you think the other teams have now sort of caught on to how you were succeeding?
Yeah, I'm not too good at those things. Like I don't look too far like that. Like I'm focused on us playing every single night, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe you were hoping like a smart answer or whatever. Like I don't look that ahead. Like I don't know either. Like I don't know what like this whole schemes. Like, I'm just out to play basketball. I'm a hooper. Like I play basketball and I go out there and try to do my best with our team and wherever our coaching staff is and whatever we do as a team, and that's all I'm focused on. I'm not trying to see what everybody's doing or evaluate the whole league. Like that's not my job. Like my job is to play. And I'm on this team, and I want us to be the best that we can be, and right now I'm focused on that.
on a separate topic, has there ever been an influence of Kobe Bryant on your mid-range kind of ascent? When you look at footage of his post?
Yeah, no, definitely. I look at a lot of different people. Like I wanna be again. I'm a sitter in the game, and I wanna continue to evolve, and I wanna continue to get better. It's part of my game that I feel like I can get better on, and I've always kind of like wanted to be better at that. And yeah, I watch all those guys that shot the mid range well, from DeMar to Kobe, like all those guys. Like I just want to be the best that I can be, and whatever help I can get, like I look for it.
Do you have an opinion on the new awards names?
What's that?
Michael Jordan MVP.
Wait, there's new awards names?
I guess you don't have an opinion.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, there's a lot of things that I don't look at, bro.
They named the most improved after you.
I don't think so, but but yeah, like I really don't care. I really don't care.
Pascal, real quick, obviously, Sacramento, they've come a long way in terms of their program and development. How much do you kind of attribute that success to, now the Raptors assistant coach Rico?
Oh man, yeah. Like that's another one of those questions. Like I don't know how much, I don't know how well Sacramento's been playing. Like, and obviously I'm sure Rico he has an impact wherever he goes. I know that, but I can't tell you that it was because of him or not. Like I don't know. But no, they're playing well. They have a good record, and I know the hard playing team that's going to come in trying to get a win. And I think that for us it's just like, man, like we just got to take every opponent, and everybody thought we were supposed to win those 2 games, but it don't happen like that. You can't just wish it and it happens. You got to do it.
You guys were at this point last season in December, a game under 500. How does this compare? Do you guys feel it's similar or different from where you were last year?
If I see it the way we should see it, I feel like we had a lot of injuries. A lot of people were sick and going through stuff, so we never really had the full team. I think that will help when we get everything back and get a rhythm and all that. So, obviously we lost some games that we would have won, but I think we're gonna figure it out. And when we get on the roll, nobody will be talking about those 2 games that we lost in Orlando.
Does this feel like it gives you a roadmap? Like you just look back to last year, you guys played one of the best teams in the league.
Kinda, but it's also just proves us that we got to be better. Honestly, we're a good team, and just losing to the team back to back, sometimes it's just gonna makes us realize how hard we gotta work, and we can't take position off. And I think a lot of us just have to look yourself in the mirror and see what we gotta do to help the team. I mean, I'm part of it, so I don't know. But I'm part of it. I'm not gonna talk about everybody else, but I think it's just something that you just gotta work on and keep working on and keep getting shots up and change some techniques sometimes. At this point, it's a team thing right now. We're not shooting well as a team, and we got great shooters on this team. So I think it's just something about getting back on rhythm, and when you see one going in, maybe it helps out. That's what it did to me last year. Just focusing on making one at a time, and I think we all got to focus like that. You guys saw Fred could shoot, Gary could shoot, Scotty got his shot better, Pascal, OG. So it goes all around. I think with time and putting the work in, it's gonna get better.
How would you describe the mood of the team right now as a group?
I'm good. As a team, I think we all have going through ups and downs, which is part of the long season. But I don't think everybody's too hard on themselves. Obviously, we don't like losing, and the energy's not the same when you're winning. But I don't think it's negative energy. I don't think anybody is going at each other for the wrong reason. So that's gonna help us in the long run. We've been to that before, and especially the core of this team. When we went to Tampa and all that, we had the hardest season than what we're going right now.
Historically, you guys have been a pretty good road team. Any explanation why that hasn't been the case so far this season?
I think it's the same reasons as I said before. We missed a lot of players. We've been through a lot of injuries and all that. We're still trying to figure it out. Everybody's role and everybody's how to play with each other and all. So I think that is one of the reasons. But like I said, we're not on a good flow right now. So at home or away, I think we're gonna struggle if we're not figuring that out. So we're getting better at it. I think today we had a tough practice, and that's also a good thing, having practice, just to play with your teammates and figuring out what we can do best and how to get better.
Last year, you were a guy whose name came up in trade rumors. I think at one point you thought you were probably getting traded. We're getting still a little far away from that time, but December 15th is sort of the start of things. What's that like to hear your name popping up, whether it's true or not true or whatever, for guys?
I mean, at this point, with the season, the way that it's been going, and what the stuff that I'm trying to do and the player that I'm trying to become, I can't really focus too much on that. I used to be stressed a lot about it and all, but at this point, I want to be the best player I could be, and wherever I'm at, this is what I'm going to do. And if I focus on myself, I'm pretty sure they like what I'm doing and all that, but if it ends up that I have to do it somewhere else, then it is what it is. To me, it's
Not
like I said.
specifically about you, just in
No, I'm
general.
just saying I have to talk about myself, because
Okay.
if I go and talk about how people feel, then I'll just be lying to you. Like, I don't know how Christian will feel, or how, Ancho, whoever it is, like, I don't know how they're going to feel. I just know that this is how I deal with, and I think usually it's the best way, because you don't know what's going to happen. People get traded. I was there when JV and all them disappeared in one time, so, you just never know, and the best thing to do is just to focus on self, trying to play better, help the team in whatever you could do, and whatever happens, happens. I mean, to be honest with you, we all, like, I don't think that we're down that bad where we have to bring each other energy up. Like, we're all joking around and all that. Obviously we don't like losing and all that, so it's hard. It's not as fun as usual. But I feel like, like guys like me, Precious, OG, Scotty, we always, joke around and all that. So, as long as that don't stop and that we're still having fun with each other and all that, I think we can figure it out. And that's what's good about this team, is that nobody's at the point now where it's just talking bad about each other and all.
How's OG doing? Was he able to participate today?
He was not here today. He's getting evaluated. It looks like the same as what I said before. It's going to be probably a week before we're ready to kind of give you another update. But nothing majorly wrong there with the images and stuff. But probably need to let it settle here for a few days and then take another look in about 7 days.
Do you have any update on Otto or Precious?
Yeah, well, Precious actually was on the court today a little bit. Still not moving great, but he's out there doing a few things. As you guys can see, right? You can see he's out there, and you can tell he's still laboring a bit there with it. But it's good sign that it's it's healing well enough for him to be able to put weight on it and be out there and stuff like that. Still probably about the same as I said before. We're probably looking towards New Year, right? Maybe a bit sooner. And Otto did go see the specialist. It looks like they've decided there's probably not an imminent surgery needed. So we're going to try to start ramping him up, but it looks like it's going to take almost a month before he can get to a point where he gets back on the court and then give it a shot. I think that's the update. Yep.
Pretty good update.
Sorry, Nick, when you say back on the court, that's so we can ramp up for on-court stuff? Back to play, you know what I mean?
That's a really good question. I think that means back to play. I think, but that's the way I interpret ramping up for a month.
So we're about a month away.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I want to ask you about the pretty unusual home and road splits right now.
Uh-huh.
Historically, you guys have been a pretty good road team.
Yep.
Can you put your finger on why that hasn't been the case so far this season?
Listen, the easiest thing to look at is, just looking at some of the stats. But from my standpoint, it's been not very good starts. Some really gracious first quarters by us, right, where teams just score a ton, and it's been really strange because usually we're coming off of a full game of 88 points, 92 points, 98 points, a really stellar defensive effort, and then go down and give up 37 or 40 in the first quarter. We're just going to have to we're going to have to learn those lessons a little better to carry our defense at the start on the road a little bit more, I think. It's usually what it is, defense and rebounding should travel, right? Should travel.
How do you
There are qualities we sort of come to expect from Nick Nurse teams.
Yep.
We're not seeing necessarily a lot of that lately. What do you see happening here?
Well, I would say that we've had a an uneven and patchy lineup situation here for a long time, right? That doesn't help. I think the defense looks amazing at times and then not so good at times, right? A little bit of inconsistency, a little bit of maturity needed to get that a little bit more consistently. And, just most recently, we've had a hard time scoring, right? We've had a hard time shot making and things like that. So it's been a little bit of everything. I mean, I think at times during this season we started out the season maybe top 6 in three-point shooting, and then the last 10 or 14, I think we're well into number 30, right? So that's it's been uneven. Well, what's the reason? I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot. There's been a lot of reasons. Probably most of it, switching lineups. I think a big shift happened when Pascal went out. That's like the earmark of whatever happened. He was creating a lot of those open threes for guys. Some guys have played through some injuries. They're out there not feeling their best and they're playing through some stuff. And I just think we've not made them here in the stretch. It's like a little happens in sports, right? It's just like a little slump, and I'm really confident that. Bad weekend, but last Wednesday we put up 70 points in the first half, made them all. Get too carried away here, right?
Is there a way to generate offense with this roster without making threes?
Well, yeah, yeah, of course there is. Again, you would say from coach speak that your defense and rebounding need to travel, and you're not always going to make shots, and it's got to be able to carry you through some of the stuff, and it does, right? But I think that, and you guys are watching the game, it gets a little bit, and again, it isn't like we're dribbling in circles, shooting turnaround threes at the shot clock buzzer going out. Those are, a lot of them are faced up, just what we're trying to get, ones that we're just having a tough time nailing right now, right? So, yes, we need to continue to generate offense out of our defense. We need to continue do a better job of generating offense off the glass. It's part of kind of what we started by design a couple years ago, and we just can't have like there's 3 components there, right? The 3-point shooting, the defense creating offense, and the offensive rebounding. We can't have all 3 of those go missing, right? And you probably can't have 2 of the if we can do 2 of the 3, and I just didn't think we didn't shot make or offensive rebound down in Orlando this week. The defense wasn't that bad. We did create, and we tried really hard. We played really tough. We created a lot of turnovers, and probably 2 of the 3 didn't let us get over the hump, right? Yeah, there's certainly always some schemes and adjustments you can make or personnel changes you can make to have a little bit better rim protection for sure.
Coach, just going back to shooting real quick, you could say that earlier Gary wasn't shooting the ball super well, then he kind of got himself out of that, and now he's shooting it pretty well, as you can ask for. But he did it through extra reps. Is it a matter of reps with this team to kind of get out of the slump collectively now? Yeah,
I think that a lot of people when they're players, when they're not, or when they're in maybe a little bit of a slump, we'll go rep it out, right? I think the reps build the confidence, right? I think that, and then it's a lot of it, right? There's shot selection, is there anything in the mechanics, right? And then there's a lot of confidence that goes on too, right? So my thing is especially our guys who historically have made a lot, they got to keep taking them. They got to try to figure out, even if there's something, not perfect in there, but if they're kick out open shots, they gotta step in there and believe they can find a way to get them in the basket.
You guys were a game under 500
We were?
Does this,
Is it late? Is it late December?
No.
Oh, okay.
Last year was the 29th.
Okay. All right.
How does this feel similar or different to where you are? And then, the second half of last year, you guys were one of the better teams in the league. Does it feel similar or different? in more ways?
Well, listen, I think that we've made some strides forward when we're really playing well. I think we really look good and at times a lot better than at times last year. I think that what last year did is we found turn the new year or whatever, we found a consistent rhythm of what was happening. And we actually found that earlier this year, right? Like we were starting to go like this and we were really starting to go, okay? But now we've got it, not a little bit that happened last year a little bit. This time I thought, I told you guys, we're playing good basketball, and then we go through the COVID thing, so we kind of have to start all over again. So we've kind of gone through that again. So I've got a lot of confidence in these guys. It is a tough moment right here, right? I've got a lot of confidence in the staff, et cetera. We got to get a little bit of our shooting back on the floor, right? We've lost a couple of good shooters that we're counting on, and we've got to step in and make the plays, man. And I think that'll boost the defense. That'll boost energy for rebounding, right? However, it's got to start the other way. It's got to start with defense and rebounding. No matter what's happening at the offensive end, we've got to give ourselves a chance, regardless of whether we're going to be making them or not.
So how would you describe then your level of concern right now?
Well, listen, we're working really hard to try to iron some things out, right? I think it's a level of consistent play that we need to, because again, there's some really good basketball being played for long stretches of the game, right? In a lot of games against any team. I've always say this to you guys, it doesn't matter. Like, all these teams have really good players, right? They all have really good players, and they come to play against us, right? So we've got to play. We got to be concerned with ourselves. We've got to compete. We've got to compete a little longer throughout the game, right? Got to clean up some defensive scheme lapses, and we've got to play a little bit better at the offensive end.
I have an off-topic question.
That's good. That's good.
Canadians are kind of having a moment.
Yeah.
A
Yep.
lot of them kind of having failures. What are you kind of just seeing from this round?
Yeah, I feel like that from you. I don't follow it that closely, but now you can't help it almost, right? You just laying around, you see Nikhil scores 27 the other night. I think Jamal hit a game winner the other night. Zach's Shea is playing, unbelievable level. Zach's team's number one in the country right now, led by him. And go on and on. Kelly's playing great. Dwight's playing, there's a lot of guys playing good. So it's cool. Good for them.
How much do you think kind of going through the summer, your United States can kind of helps leading into the season? Much of an adjustment?
I don't know. I think that my own personal opinion on that is that's super. It's super competitive, right? So I think anytime you're getting reps of things you're working on in the summer, and all of a sudden you get to go play a really tough game and a scouting report and a training camp and travel and all those things that just kind of make you more experienced, it helps you. I think it helps you, right? I really do. I think that a lot of those guys have come to, not just ours, I would say you can look at probably a lot of countries that do it, but we're looking at our country. They've come to our camp and made a step forward and being ready at training camp and done a good job.
Have you ever been to Jakarta?
I have not.
That's exciting.
It is. It's going to be very exciting. Be very exciting. It was a three-way tie for me. It was a three-way tie, so I'm really happy. Yeah. It's going to be great.
Any update on Boucher?
Yeah. I didn't cover. He full practice today. Should be ready to go unless they check him. But he looked good today.
Questionable plus.
Yep. Questionable plus. We good?
Aren't we all?
Thanks, everybody.
Thank